Hello again. So today I was going to do what I thought was going to be a really simple project, and pull out all these carnations, which I've kind of quit watering them. You know, they were done blooming. These will come back. You could deadhead them, and they seem to come back every year. At least the ones in this pot have. But I'm kind of over it. I'm just going to pull them all out, and I think I'm going to put some cactus or succulents in here. And then when I got out here, and I'm like, whew, look at all the weeds. Okay, I really need to get some weed eating done. Kitties are following me everywhere. Yeah, so I got my weed eater battery charging, but I need to deadhead these roses. And look how low they've sunk in that. I mean, they're down about 8 inches here. But I've got a feeling they've probably grown through their pots into the ground. So I don't think I can pull them out and add more soil. I don't know. I might try to do that later in the fall. Or actually, you know what? Maybe when you prune them back, like if I prune them back in January, maybe I'll see if I can just pull the whole plant out and add more dirt. What was that? Oh, the cats are chasing each other. Fezzik, leave your sister alone, you little bully. So first thing I'm going to do is go grab my weed eater and knock these weeds down, because this looks horrible. And look how tall my rosemary's getting. Oh, it smells good. This stuff is pretty much done, except for the thyme. Still smells good. It was almost dead. Hadn't been watering. And this basil is still hanging on. Whew, spider webs. So I need to pull everything out of here and redo my little herb garden. But what I am going to do, I think, is bring my... Ooh, look how fat my shadow is. I need to find a different way to stand. I need to find a way to get this, which is really heavy. I don't want to have to take all the dirt out of it. So these 2 pots are going to go out front. This one's not bad. I can just carry it out. But this pot is terracotta and it's really thick, as you can see. So I want to take them out front and put a couple plants in them. But in here, there's not much in here. I do have these donkey tails, which are doing really good. And there's a bunch more growing out of the top there. And a couple haworthias and these baby toes. Otherwise, it's, you know, there's a couple little things in here that just need to be done. It's just too hot right now in here to do any kind of plants in here. But it won't be long. And I can start. I want to get some seeds going for vegetables and whatever. This stuff's pretty much done. I need to dump those out, get rid of the plants. I did get quite a few tomatoes off of here, and you can see there's a bunch of them that I didn't pick. Some of those had this, you know, they get this bottom rot stuff. It's kind of gross, so I don't even bother picking them. But otherwise, yeah, so I'm going to go grab my weed eater, clean this up, deadhead these roses real quick, and then we're going to plant up that pot. So we'll be right back. Okay, so I got all the weeds, or most of them, you know, cut down. There's a few in the back that I can't get the weed eater to, and I really need to rake it. And you know what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to rake this out really good, spray it really good around the base, and put about 3 feet of mulch around here to keep the weeds down right up close. So, and that'll make it look a lot better. And then I need to clean the greenhouse, because as you can see from the summer, it's so dirty, but it actually cleans up pretty good. The inside's really dirty too. So I need to get that done. I didn't get much back here because my battery died, so it's on the charger. But I did get most of the stuff cut down, so I can walk through here. It looks better in between. And I trimmed off all the dead roses. And so the roses aren't looking great because they probably didn't get watered for like a week out here. And it was really hot. But I've been watering really good the last couple days, and so it's putting off all kinds of new growth. So they'll bounce right back. And which is why I had all those dead roses on there, because they it bloomed open, but the roses didn't open up because they were too dry. So I threw a handful of fertilizer in each one, and then I'll water this stuff really good today and water that in. But right now let's pull all these carnations out, and then I'll go find some plants to put in there. I got to put something. This gets full sun pretty much all day long. This is on the south side of the greenhouse, and the sun comes from there and goes to there. So I've got to find, I was thinking it would be cool to put a couple of those big Saharas, the Echeveria Saharas, but I don't think they'd like that full hot sun all day. I want to have something that's going to really thrive back here that I can leave in here. So yeah, I'm going to have to think about it. Maybe like some ghosties, some of the same usual suspects that do really good in the sun. I've got a couple Fred Ives I can steal, and those always seem to do well in the sun. Yeah, okay, so let me think about that, and then yeah, and then we'll come back, but let me pull this out first. Okay, so these probably will pull out pretty easily. Yeah, you can see how they're still shaped just like they were in their nursery pots. I just kind of tuck them in. And I'll need to add, I'm sure, some soil. This big piece back here has been in since last year. And I thought it was dead. And then all of a sudden I see all this new growth. So I started watering it. And then all these flowers were from this year. And they're probably all full of seeds. Which is probably not the best thing to have carnations popping up everywhere. But at the same time, it'd be kind of fun. I know that marigolds will just continue to seed themselves and just take off and grow everywhere. But yeah, this has got a lot of root. So let me get this loose dirt off of here. But I haven't watered this plant in probably, I don't know, like a week and a half or so. And it just completely turned brown, which was, my plan, because I've been thinking about this for a couple weeks of just getting all this stuff out of here, and then doing a pot with cactus or something. So how's that soil feel down there? It's pretty compact, but I only need a couple of inches, on the top that's loose to be able to plant. So I'll probably need a little bit more soil. And I don't think I have anything out here but organic compost. Whoa, frog. He must have been down deep in there. Sorry, dude. He's cute, look. Why won't I zoom in? Is that him? Oh, there he is. Isn't he cute, little tree frog? Yeah, I think he was buried down in the soil. All right, I'm gonna set this back and I will be right back. Okay, so I got a couple of Echeveria Saharas there. I cut these pups off that same big plant. Look at the color on them, they're so pretty. And you can't even tell where I cut them out. I just kind of fluffed it back up. And then I've got if I sound out of breath this time, I actually am. Oh, that's work crawling around. Why are the dogs barking at? Crawling around in there. Is there somebody at the gate? I don't see anybody. Why are you guys barking? Who knows? Anyway, I've got a Starry Night Aloe I thought I'd stick in there. Mr. Ray Ray. Poor guy. He's all bald. Well, they're all bald right now. They all blow their coats in the summer, but man, I think he's got to be 14 now. And that's old for one that was in the shape he was in when we got him. I have pictures of before and after. He weighed easy 350 pounds, and his face looked like, there was literally like round, and then he had this little face sticking out of the center of it. And now he's just got a long snoot, and his ears aren't, you know, he can move his ears. He was fat blind. He can see great. Once we got him down to a certain weight and we got all the weight off his shoulders and around behind his ears, then we started putting weight back on him gradually so he looks normal again. But the weight went on healthy, you know, with good nutrition, and so he looks really good. Hi, baby. You want some scratching, don't you? Oh, let me put my plant down. He's like, what are you doing? He's such a good boy. He loves to be scratched. He's itchy all the time. All the time he's itchy. Don't lean over. You're going to fall. Oh, you got some dry skin. Oh, let's get all that dead skin off of you. Yes, he's such a good boy. And he's feisty now, but he can actually run. And he'll chase you. Huh. His teeth are kind of shot, you know, because he's getting old. And he was never taken care of. They're so cute. Oh my goodness, look at that snoot. Oh yes. Oh yes. I know you're itchy. You're a good boy. Oh, okay. All right, where am I going to put this camera? I need to have it up so you can see. I did find a bag of, it's just regular planting soil, potting soil, and it's really dry. So, whew, that was a workout. So it'll give these plants a chance to harden off. So anyway, I got a big Fred Ives that was growing kind of off to the wrong side. So I cut it, and it's got this coming off of it, which I think I'm gonna just leave on there. And then I've got just an assortment of, you know, ghosties and all this other stuff. So let me find a place to put the camera, and we'll get these tucked in there. Okay, and even lift it even a little bit more. Can we zoom in a little bit? Probably don't need to. All right, so most of these are cuttings. So now I just got to figure out how I want to put them. I think I'm going to put the Fred Ives in the back because I believe it's the tallest. And it has been in the hundreds here. And it's now going to start cooling off. And it's only supposed to be in the like 97 today, I believe. Let me tuck this under. Ooh, all these just fell off of there. I kind of want that. Let me move this out of the way. I want this to stay and keep growing. I don't know if it's a flower or if it's a kind. It looks more like a plantlet than a flower bloom, but we'll leave it on. This has got a really thick stem, so we'll see what happens. So it's going to be 97 today. It was 104 yesterday, about 104 the day before, and the day before that, and then it was like 98, 98. So we had like 6 days of right at or above 100. And now it's cooling down into the upper 90s today. And then tomorrow it's going to be like 91. And then it's going to be down into the low 90s and a couple days in the upper 80s coming up. Look at can you see the little plant growing there? And there's another one coming out under here. And over on this backside right here. These things are, now these are the big ones that I pulled out of the bathtub in the front that I left the other day. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want to put these where I was planting other stuff. But this pot, I think, will do good. I pulled them both. I think that was actually there was several more. There was more than just 2. And I got a lot of ghosties. Okay, so here's another tall one. I was just kicking dirt everywhere, so I kind of want it to go like right in there. I'm trying to keep them standing up. And one more. Oh, this is the big one. Okay. So this one has a really long stem that I think I'm going to cut off. I wasn't sure about doing that until I got out here. Why are these dogs barking? I don't see any cars. Oh, goodness. This is another one that I can't quite stand up straight. There's a cat in my greenhouse. I can hear it. What are you doing in there? I can't quite stand up straight, but I can't like squat down all the way because then it'd be too tall. So I want one of these on each side. Oh, I got two. This is the third one. Yeah, I'll put two on this side because that root is right there. And this one I can just tuck it forward and let that sit back like that. Okay. I don't know how big these are going to get. I know that will start to grow up. Okay, now I've got, do I want to put the Saharas one on each side like that? Because they'll stay flat as those ones grow taller. Yeah, I think I will. Yeah, I think I'll, and I cut these like, you know, pretty short. So all I got to do is just kind of tuck them like that. And this one too. This one's kind of already got some roots on that stem just because the way they've been laying. So we're going to tuck it and cover that up. So those can sit there and do their thing. What is that noise? Let's put you back here. I have this on a step stool. Alrighty. There we go. Ooh, okay. So we got the Fred Ives, those two, whatever they are. The two Echeveria Saharas. Actually, there's three of those things. And how about if we take this aloe, this is Starry Night aloe, clean off some of these lower leaves that I don't need. And I have a ton of this stuff growing. So this is a Starry Night aloe, and it's really pretty, but it is a clumpy, bunchy thing. And so what if we tuck it, if I can get a hold of all the leaves, up against here. I can stick that stem way down in there. Where are you? And let that kind of cover there. Yeah, that'll sit up there. And then maybe we'll put some of these. I got a couple imbricatas. We can just lay them kind of right on the soil here. And I didn't cut these. I just pulled them out, root and all. And I got, it's kind of a large one. Whoa. I got like, I think I took like 4 of them. And they like to grow together like this. This is the way I see them in the ground, just all clumped up together. So I don't mind planting them this way and really crowding them, because I think that's how they're happy. And one more. You clean this one up. Ooh, lots of dead leaves. And this one has little baby plantlets growing all off of it. Just stick this one back under here. And again, I'm just gonna kind of lay it under there and push the dirt up to hold it up. Let this leaf lift you up. I want the leaves under the dirt. There we go. So that'll hold that up. And now I see I don't have nearly enough plants, which is surprising because I thought I had a ton of stuff, but apparently not. Oh, I gotta stand up for a minute. So I'm gonna have to find something to go in the front here. And I don't know what. you know what, let me, now that I'm looking at this, you know what, I can sit on this. Let me look for black widows first. Lots of spiders, no black widows. Okay. A lot of like daddy long legs underneath. Okay. I'll sit here because you know what? I'm going to do something different. I'm going to pull all these imbricautas out. And I'm going to put these, where'd that one go? These ghosties that are taller back in here. Oh, I broke a leaf. That's okay. Because these are going to stand up a little bit better. And I brought a few. So the ghosties that I picked today were in areas where they were starting to grow off to the sides over the tops of other plants. And I'm going to be getting in there and really, as my mother would say, revamping. I don't know what that means, but revamping that whole area. And I was planning on moving these around anyway, so I thought, you know what, I'll just cut them off and put them in the pot out back instead of cutting them and resetting them in the spot that they're at, because there's so many now. I have so many. And I tell you what, that makes me happy, because these up here, these little ghosties, these are the, was it Graptopetalum? I always forget. No, they're, Gaiensa. I'll put it on the screen because I can never remember how to say it. And they're really hard to find in my area. And then when I did find a bunch of them, they were expensive. It was $8 for like a nursery pot. It was kind of deep. It was like that deep, but it was only maybe 4 inches across, and each one had like 2 overgrown, hanging off the edge, plants. But the rosettes were large, and they had really thick stems. So I bought like 4 of them, and from those original 4 plants, if you've watched my other videos, you see how many of them I've got in the garden now. It's amazing what I do with my nippers. Here we go. So I could cut, those are burned. You can see when the leaves, that's from being burned, that's from the sun. And this one was kind of growing across the ground, like kind of across the ground and sticking up. And this part was in the sun. I could go and get, well, I'm probably going to have to. What else is in here? Oh, I forgot to check for mealybugs on these ones. Yeah, they've got a few. I wonder if I can just kind of clean them out. They're not bad. Ooh. Is that a bee? Something's buzzing me. I hope it's a bee. We need bees. And so I can just stick that down in there. I got a few of these. So these were right along the front flower bed area, and they were really starting to grow across out of the area where I planted them along a log. I found a big piece of driftwood log. I'm not sure what they are. You know what? If I cut the stem a little shorter, it might be easier to stick it down in here. Duh. Yeah, look at that. But that one's okay. So I won't water these for a while. And look at this one. The stem grows, and it was like here. So it kind of grew across the ground. And I tried to cut it back pretty short so that this section, I can just kind of lay it just like that, and it'll root right off of that stem. Okay, that's everything out of my basket. So now I have the imbricata. I got a chunk of something dry right here. So I can stick these. Maybe I could get some portulacaria, the elephant bush. the Afra variegata one, because that one grows, stand up you, that one grows, ouch, flatter on the ground and will hang over the edge of this. And that would give me a spiller across the front here. How does that sound? What do you think of that? By the time I'm done manhandling these poor plants, there's not going to be any leaves left on them. You know what? I'm just going to... They're going to reroot back so quickly. I'm just going to... It's a lot easier just to do that. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just easier. I don't know. Do I want to do the spider web? Do I want to do the Portulacaria? What I'm going to do when I'm done here is I'm going to get a piece of shade cloth. You can't see, but straight up on the top of the greenhouse, I have, actually I'm going to look you right, see where it comes and it hangs down? That's folded in two, and that blocks that sun from coming in. But there's not really any plants in there right now. I can cut a piece out of that, off of that over there to cover this when I'm done. Because although right now it's so hot, even though they've been outside, look at mealybug right in here. Those little, oh, they're just maddening. I made such a mess pulling these out. I got dirt all over everything. So I have a ton more of this imbricata in the bathtub out in the front. So I could go and get more of that and just fill the rest of this in. What else do I have that I could put? I just can't really think of anything else. I wanted that to stand up more. I can't really think of anything else that I can put in here that is going to push all this stuff back a little. Maybe that'll hold them up a little more. That's going to spill over the side. You know what I mean? I could put a little top dressing there and set a rock, or, but I kind of want something, I need something that's tough, that can take this full sun and the heat. So today is August 11th, and like I said, the next 2 weeks, it's going to be cooling down quite a bit, you know, for us. But sometimes in September, like, what is it, 3-4 years ago, we had 3 days in September where it hit 115 all 3 days. And I was camping, and so I was up in Bernie Falls, which is up near Shasta in Northern California, and it was 115 there 3 days in a row and 115 here. So poor Dave had to be out here, you know, like every 2 hours checking on the pigs, hosing them off, putting cool water in their bowls and their mud holes just to... Pigs don't sweat. I don't know if you guys know anything about pigs, but they don't sweat. They only have like a few sweat glands on the front of their snout. And do they have any in their feet? But to keep cool, they need to have shade, water. We have little swimming pools for them that they like to get in, and mud holes to cake themselves with mud. And that's how they keep cool. So you have to provide that to keep them happy in the summertime. And typically it doesn't get too hot, and they're acclimated, you know, these pigs are all used to it, so I don't worry about them too much. But I am out here, and if you're interested, I have another channel, and it's our ranch channel, True Pair Ranch and Rescue. And I also have a channel called Squeal and Friends. And I just post pictures and videos of the animals and stuff we do out here. If you're interested, go over and check out that channel, and then you'll see, because I think I posted a video a couple days ago of me walking around and filling the mud holes and hosing the pigs off. And right over here in my neighbor's property, I have a big plot, and I have cantaloupe, watermelon, honeydew growing over there. And I go out in the morning and I pick, because right now we've got a ton of stuff out there. Lots of watermelons, which I need to pick a couple today. But I go out and pick them in the morning, and I put them in the fridge so that they're cool. And then the afternoon when it's really hot, I cut them all up and they all get a nice cold treat. And so I think I posted a video just a couple days ago on True Pear Ranch and Rescue on Facebook. These are on Facebook, not YouTube. So I lost my train of thought. Okay, so I'm done with what I have. I'm trying to think, oh, I can stick this little scraggly piece. I'll just tuck it right there and let it do its thing. These are all going to fill. These ones here will start to spread. These will too. Actually, you know what? Everything in here will. The Fred Ives are really slow. That one plant, and hopefully this little piece will see what that does. Within a couple, these right now, everything in here is growing. None of these are dormant this time of year. And I probably should cut these blooms off. There's still quite a few flowers to open though. Maybe I'll leave them. So these should all root pretty quickly, especially if I keep it covered to keep some of the heat off. Oh, look what I just noticed. That's fun. That right there is a praying mantis. Uthaka? I think it's Uthaka. And it will, I can see it's not open yet, so they're still in there. And it will basically unzip, and just hundreds of them, teeny tiny little, where am I? Whoa! Teeny tiny little ones. They almost look like ants. Will come out and they'll be all over here. So that's cool. I'm glad I didn't hit that with my weed eater, because I weed eated. They were probably a little more protected under there, but they'll be okay because I've seen them in the full sun and they still hatch. But maybe I'll put something in front of that to block this, because the sun's going to come across in front of it. The morning sun won't hurt it, but maybe I'll stick something in front of that to protect it. Where were we? We were over here. All right, so what are we going to do? We're going to figure out how to get this to, did I move it? I don't know what I did. Was it that way? It's going to fall off the thing here. All right, what are we going to do here? I really kind of want something that's going to hang over the edge. And the only thing I can think of that I have that will do that in time is Portulacaria. Why don't we walk over there? And take a look. Yeah, see, I need to, the sun, or the weeds were probably covering that little thing down in there. I think I need to put something there, and that'll protect it. And I want to go see what my dogs are barking at. So I'll just take you with me. We'll go for a walk. Ooh, it is so, look at the weeds out here. Oh, God. They're all dying. Nothing's getting water. There's my well. Sprinklers are on. Everything's getting watered really good every day, which makes it nice. Oh, we got doves. Because those trees all get a ton of water under them every day. Hi, Mr. Clyde. Are you talking? You want to see Clyde? Let's see Mr. Clyde. So right now it is, what time? You know what? I don't know what time it is because I don't have my watch on. Come here, Mr. Clyde. Come here, handsome boy. Isn't he cute? He's got a little hitch in his get-along. He's got, if you have horses, he's got a thing. It's kind of like string halting horses. It's just me. Hi, baby. Come here. So he can see. You kind of think he can't by the way he walks, but he was fat blind also when we got him. Good boy. I know. What am I doing? And he's probably lost. I'd say he's lost 100 pounds. He was massive. He wasn't as in bad a shape as Ray was, and he was a lot younger. His hooves are long. They're on the trim list. She's going to be coming in about 2 weeks. And Squeal, Maggie, Clyde, and I think Pork Chop and Carrie are all getting their hooves trimmed. Whew. Okay, we'll be right back. I just noticed here as I'm walking up, look at these nails. There's another one. So we had our deck ripped out because it was literally falling apart. I mean, everything, the boards were snapping and we had holes in it. And we hired a kid to come and rip it all out for us, and we're going to redo it. I think we're going to put a cement slab, though. And the trailer was right here. This is where we was throwing all the wood. And I didn't think to come over here with my magnet. But there used to be a huge deck. Took up that whole area. And now it's gone. So, yeah, I gotta check for nails over here. Wow. Okay. Okay, I forgot to bring my basket. But I took the Fred Ives, which are in the front of this part. It was growing way back in here, right behind that. Yeah, it was right there. And I wanted them over there. So I took that. I took a bunch of stuff from over there. And, you know what? I could put some cotyledon, a couple pieces of the mint truffles in there. But here's what I was thinking. This is what I'm looking at. Oh, and I took a bunch of these, and that's where I got the Starry Night. You see how much more of that there is. What if I... Whoa. What if I take a piece? Because this all needs to be cut back anyway. Because it is growing... over into these other plants. And so all this needs to come off. So what if I find a big chunk? I've got a feeling it's just going to be a bunch of little pieces. And I don't want this growing over the sidewalk. And I've been meaning to clean up. This is where we're at. It's this area here. So it's covering my rocks. It's covering my barrel cactus, which is not good. I want to. Oh, look at this. This is a big. Get out of there. This is a big, thick stump that's growing forward. Look at how. Look at that. Okay, here's another big piece. I don't want to poke myself with that cactus, which is very close. And, ooh, that's a good piece. It's all intertwined. If I pull too hard, it's going to rip half the leaves off of it. I think I'm going to take this whole portulacari out of here. And, that'll look a lot better. Midnight. Don't eat that plant. I can see you. Look at her. Can you see her? There's her tail. What are you doing? Hey. Don't eat my strings. And don't worry, those strings are all 3 separate, so she can't hang herself with them. I know cats can get themselves tangled up in those strings that you use to pull the blinds up and down. I think I'm going to take all of this out of here. Hey! What are you doing? Get off the screen. Yeah, this is going to look a lot better. Oh, can I get... Midnight! She's in there climbing on the screen, and I don't want her tearing it up any more than it already is. Okay, so this piece I really want. It's growing all through this dickia. And I just sent seeds from this thing everywhere in there. I'm probably going to have a ton of those growing in here next year. Okay, so this is a big piece. Where does this part grow out of? I get so distracted. I came out just to get a piece for my pot and then decide, you know what, let's just go ahead and... It's really soft and it actually cuts quite easily, the wood. Can you call this wood? Doesn't really... Oh, there's looks like some rot setting in down here. So I'm going to have to get this whole stump dug out of here. And I don't know how hard that's going to be. I think that's going to be quite a project. All the weeds out of here. Be careful, don't grab a hold of this barrel. Spines. Cat. Dave is gone. So that cat is in there by itself, causing mischief. As usual. Okay. Get all the weeds. Don't grab the spine there. Get my tweezers and really get the rest of those weeds out of there. There's some dead Portulacaria. Ow! That's what I didn't want to do. Down in there. So, yeah. Now I need to get rid of that. What? I might have to go in and play with that kitten for a little bit. She needs some attention. Okay, so I got plenty of this to choose from. But it's flat. It's not hanging. It's flat. So I don't know. I don't know if I want it in there, though. Do I want to put it back there? Because I'm worried it's just going to kind of die back because of the heat. But you know what? While we're standing here, you know what I noticed the other day is my Navajo Princess is looking much better. From when I first planted it, it just went completely limp. And look at her now. She's standing up straight. She's putting out a new leaf there. I do keep her covered a little. Okay, let's go look over here. What do we have over here? Oh, you know what? I have this little sticks on fire. I can stick this back in there too. Should we try and pull this out? I know there's cactus in here, so I gotta be careful. How hard would this be to pull out of here? Come on. You know what? I can stick that in there too. Because I need to pull everything out of there and, because that looks horrible. Yeah, this is small enough. And it's not thriving here, as you can see. Hold on. I need 3 hands. If I had 3 hands, I would be perfect. Absolutely perfect. Ooh, look at. I did do some damage to it. Here, look. I did do some damage, right? You can see the sap right there by my thumb. I broke that one. And that sap is the stuff that's... It's like, what do they call it? I forget. But it's really irritating, so... Yeah, so I think I'll take that little piece out there and stick that in. This one over here is doing really good. I have a bigger piece. See, I made a little bit of a mess here, but this is where so I'm gonna fix the exposure a little bit. Whoa, This is where I took some of those plants out, the Saharas. So over here, I like the sticks on fire. That one's big. I don't really have anything over here to take. There's nothing I can snitch that I want to put in that pot from this area. Except, you know what I don't have in there is an agavoides, because these are really pretty. I don't really want to pull anything out of there though, because that little area looks good. Although this would be a good one to do because it's already. Where are you? Am I zoomed in? I feel like I'm zoomed in. Yeah, there we go. It's already used to getting full sun. But I have some. But these ones over here, you know, they don't look great. They've been really stressed. Maybe I'll steal a couple of these to put in there. Let's throw some, let's take this piece off over here. And you won't even be able to tell I did that. There. Okay, I'll take these. That'll give me a little something extra, something that's different. Whoa, I'm stuck. Okay, let's walk back. Whoa. God, that looks so much better, that area. I finally got that cleaned up. What's flying over me? Something just crashed into my head. Was that, you know what, there's a big dragonfly. Maybe it was that dragonfly. Okay, let's go. I'll go stick these in there. And maybe we'll just take some of that portulacaria. Look at the blooms on my monkey tail cactus. They're open. How big they are. They're so pretty. It's four new ones. There they are. Okay. I keep getting caught on this one piece. You know what? I should get rid of this long piece from the Palo Verde tree, because it looks like it's dying back from the tip. The other 3 or 4 pieces look still pretty good. Oh, and I'm getting a lot of new leaves on my Palo Verde tree. So that's exciting. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, well, I did stop and grab a few of the cotyledons. I forgot to, I had my camera off. I wasn't thinking about it, but I'm like, oh yeah, I was gonna grab some of those. So I cut a few of those out of that big pot in the center. So I'm just trying to get some of this dead, broken pieces of this. So this is Euphorbia tiricale, commonly called sticks on fire. Oh, there's 2 of them. I think I'm going to cut some of these long roots off, which hopefully the plant won't mind. I don't know. I've never done that to the... I don't have a lot of luck with these, other than the one that is still, you know, doing really well. So I'm going to move this, and I'm going to stick this back here out of the way. I need to dig it down kind of deep because it's got to be able to hold itself back up. I want it in the back. There we go. Cover that all up and fill in around it. And then put this back in front here. There we go. Okay, so that, and then these can just kind of figure out where they want to go. Okay, all right, so I have these 2 Echeveria agavoides. And this is a tough plant. It really is. It can take full sun, and they make it through the winter. Once they get established, and I mean, look how, and it's thick and meaty. So I'm going to put them right here, deep as I can get them. I want them, because they grow flat on the ground. They don't really, I mean, I guess as long as they're getting good sunlight, they don't really reach up. Oh, I see the back of a thing. I need to cover that up. Okay, so I have 2 of them. So just clean it up. And I mean, they look pretty good. They're a little burned because it's so hot where they were. I'm going to cut this stem and those roots off. And then I'm going to stick this one deep. They kind of stick to each other, like trying to stick, you know, trying to put like 2 things that are made of rubber together. They grip. You can't just slide them next to each other. Okay, and now the cotyledon mint truffles. I've got 3 of these, and these are really, really tough. They've made it through the winter and summers here, and they just multiply, so I'll probably have to pull these out before too long, but they will give me something else. And now I brought this. It's heavy. I don't know. I'd love to put this whole thing, let me get out of the way here. Whoa. I love to put this whole thing, you know, on the side here. Can you see? I can't see my screen, so I don't know if I could stick it in like this. I think what'll happen is it's going to wilt, and then hang down, and then maybe if it roots itself, if I stick it straight down, maybe it'll root into here and then hang over. But in the meantime, I'm going to have to put like a really heavy rock or something to hold it, because it's not going to stay. It's just going to fall out. It's so heavy. I mean, this probably weighs 4 pounds, but see how that, it's just not going to stay. But I think it will, I think it'll start to hang as the heat gets to it. Can you even see? Way here. I don't know if you can even see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to lay these 2 other pieces, which I had to cut off. Get that out of the way. Whoa. Okay, so how am I going to do this? I need something heavy but small enough that it'll fit on there. But I need at least like a 5-6 pound rock. Where? Asphalt. I got a bunch of chunks of asphalt. Is asphalt heavy? It's not really heavy, is it? I'll be right back. Okay, let's try this piece of asphalt. It's kind of narrow, so it's not that bulky, but it's heavy. It's pretty heavy. So maybe if I can get this deep enough. It's so dry, it's hard to pack the soil. It needs to even be deeper than that. If I can get this, what'd I do with it? Oh, here it is. It's blending into the ground. If I can just set that on there to hold it until it roots. Now I realize that looks not great. Whoa, I have these other pieces too. I can just kind of maybe stick them. You know, they want to flop. They really, oops, I just keep breaking them. They really want to flop. That's going to fall out of there, I'm sure. wonder if I can get that over the top of that one too. So although this looks kind of stupid now, let's back up. Can I block it? Pull my shirt out. Ooh. Yeah, that, what are you doing? It doesn't look great now, but once this root's in there, I can put in a few more plants right in front of there when I pull that asphalt out, but it's not, see how it's just hanging, like it's so bright out here right now, but you can see it's just sticking like straight. But I think it's gonna wilt, and I think as it wilts, I think it'll drop down. I'm gonna leave it like that and see what happens. And the most that's going to happen is it's not going to work and I'll have to find something else. Or if I'm out running around shopping, maybe I'll come up with something. But otherwise, I kind of like that. So I'm going to go cut a piece of shade cloth for this. We'll be right back. Have I been filming this whole time? Okay, so I got a piece of shade screen cut, and there was a wasp nest right above where I was cutting. And I didn't see it at first because I just sprayed and I thought I got rid of all of them, but they're working on the same old nest. So I need to take care of those. It didn't sting me, but one of them buzzed my head just as I was almost cutting. So I snipped the end off and ran. But yeah, that'll protect it from the direct sun. It'll still be hot out here, and they're probably going to shrivel quite a bit because most of it's cuttings. I won't be able to water it. And, but after a few days in that dry soil, hi kitty, where are we? After a few days in that dry soil, they'll callus off good, and then I'll just lightly spray them with water and kind of just try to get them to stay a little bit damp so that it will encourage them to root. And like I said, everything here is in its growing phase. Nothing is dormant right now. So yeah, I think I'll leave that here. And I do have a project later. It'll get too hot. It's going to be, what did I say? It's going to be 97 today, which is 7 degrees. I think it was 104 yesterday. So a little bit cooler than yesterday. And then, like I said, it's going to be cooling down. We'll even have 2 or 3 days where it was like 88. So that's awesome. And then it's going to be like in the mid 90s for the next couple weeks. So that'll get us most of the way through August. And then let's just hope that September's not too hot. Because I really want to start working on that end of the garden where I cut out all those roses. That's just an all-day project, and it's just so hot. I don't want to get started. I need to go and get some topsoil to dump in there, and I'll probably need more of the top dressing, the Sonoma Gold. So yeah, but anyway, we'll keep an eye on this. I'll check in on this afternoon when it gets hot and see if this starts to wilt and hang over, because that would be kind of cool. Because then if it's too long, I can just trim the bottom a little bit. Yeah, and that'll give me my little spiller in the back, and the stuff in the back will grow up taller. It'll take time, because most of this stuff, with an exception of those imbricatas, most of the stuff is fairly slow growing. Until it gets established. So, all right, we're going to leave that here. And if you're still watching, thank you. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And we will see you next time.